Y'all doing this evening? I am back today live. Mm, 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 mm. For those who are new to my broadcast or do not know me, my name is Tika Scarborough. I am a virtual assistant coaching coach. I help new, aspiring, and seasoned virtual assistant earn consistent monthly income. I also take my clients through my unique process, which attract and retain clients while increasing revenue so that you can be booked and busy. So today, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about three things that you need to know about being a virtual assistant. Now, I get questions, comments, uh, people share with me why they are not a virtual assistant, and I just wanted to just like come on and talk about those three things that you need, especially if you're on the fence about becoming a virtual assistant. Now, becoming a virtual assistant is a business. Simple as that. It's not working for an employer. It's not working as an employer. It's you being a business owner, right? And there is a huge difference between working for someone in the office and working by yourself at home. You have to set up your own office. You have to make big decisions as if, as just like your boss, your managers, or whoever, they have to make decisions, right? They have to make decisions whether to move you. They make decisions on how much raise you get and all that stuff. Well, guess what? Now you don't have to depend on no one to do that for you. You can do it on your own. Now, I spoke about a couple of nights ago or a few nights ago, I spoke about um, not leaving your job, right? To start this new path, this new journey without speaking to God about it, right? Everything that I do is God decisions. So we're going to talk about those three things that you need. So the three things that you need in order for you to be a successful virtual assistant is one is what are you good at? And this is what is your superpower? What is it that you know that you do so well? Not something that you do so well and you really don't like it. It has to be something that you truly, truly, truly love to do. If that is being an administrative assistant and that's the career path that you chose, but you want to kind of like pursue your own thing now, whereas you're getting bored, you perhaps maybe you're not getting the raise, maybe you're not getting the recognition at work that you deserve. And it's like time for you to move on. You can still do what you love to do and you can build a business with it. So, what is it that God has gifted you with? We're talking about your God given gifts, your God given talents. What is it that you love to do, right? Because what you love to do is a blessing to someone else, right? God gave you those gifts and talents for a reason, right? A reason and a purpose. And we use those gifts and we use those talents for good, right? We use it for God's glory. Amen. So, what is it that you do? Now, before I became an admin, I didn't know a lot of the skill sets or the things that I needed to work as an administrative assistant and working for someone in the office. So that was a very scary thing for me because my thing is was like, what if I don't do well? What if I don't catch on? What if I don't learn these things, right? So when I first became an admin, yes, I at that time was word perfect, guys. So I'm telling you my age, which y'all already know my age, right? um, but um, when I knew Word, I knew word processing, I knew a little bit about Excel and all that stuff. But my interest was more in the technical stuff. I love fixing things in the computer. I love removing viruses. And that was my thing. That was my jam. Now, working on it was a different story. I loved it because back then when the computers was coming out, I had me a computer and I was able to work on those. That was when it's called DOS, right? So I didn't have the skill set. But guess what, guys? I was a single mother, right? I had little odd jobs here and there working for the public, working for like clothes stores, and I even worked in a cafe and at a company. So what the skill sets that I picked up was customer service. Now, you may say, well, what kind of customer service are you doing? Because I was a introvert. I'm still an introvert, but you would never know that I'm an introvert, right? But I was very, very shy. However, I had a job to do, right? So when people came to me, I was very pleasant. I answered their questions, and I went above and beyond to do what I had to do. So it's just like when I was afraid once I got on this job and I had to learn these tasks, the person that believed in me and said, you know what, I'm going to give you an opportunity here because I see something in you. So that person, God allowed that person to see something in me because she knew, or she had that feeling that it was something special about me. I had some talent or some gift that I can offer and be an asset to the company, to the department, right? So I still was afraid, but yet I was eager because I needed a job as a single mother. So I did what I needed to do to make it work, right? I went above and beyond to learn what I needed to learn in order for me to keep my job and for them to be happy with me and for me to be able to do the things that they called me to do and go above and beyond. It's the same as your business. So if you ever was at that point where you was at an interview, you was afraid, but you know inside that you can do it and you needed that job, right? Remember that time. So let's hold on to that part, right? So you got hired at the job. You was nervous because even though you can do the job, you still have other people who's watching you, watching what you're doing and seeing if you said that what you said that you can do, you can do. It's the same thing as putting yourself in owning your own business, right? The skill sets that you have, the skill sets that you learned over the years at working at a corporation or a job. And it doesn't have to be at as an admin, right? Um, Maybe you had some jobs where it was some form of administrative skills. You have excellent communication skills. You have excellent typing skills. You do a lot of data entry. You're able to take something and create a process for it, right? So, whatever those skills are, you can turn it into a business because you're so great at it. So, this is why number one is, what are you good at? So, what do we do to figure what that is if you don't know what that is? Now it's time for you to take a deeper dive inside yourself. It's time for you to brush off that journal and start writing. Start writing and start thinking about what people like about me. What do they say that I do so well? What is it that people come to me consistently saying, can you do that thing that you do because you do it so well? You know, that you need to make a business out of this, right? What is it that start thinking about and writing that stuff down? And then you take a self evaluation of yourself and say, okay, this what they said about me. I enjoy doing that. I do this very well. I'm a whiz at it, right? Because what if people are coming to you, that means that they don't know how to do it and they don't want to know how to do it. They're coming to the expert to do it for them. Because if they do it, it's going to take them longer. If you do it, it's going to be like this and it's done and they don't have to worry about that. So when you think about that when you start your virtual assistant business, right? Some people have anxiety. Some people are fearful of starting their business, and that's okay. Those feelings are okay. All right. It's just the same feelings that you had. Remember, we got put that hold on the hold at the interview at a new job, and then you got comfortable with it. You got to know the managers. They got to know who you are, your personality, how you handle things. It's the same thing when you're starting your business. It's a whole new world, but it's a learning process. But before you jump into your virtual assistant business, you need to know what is it that you want to offer to the world that you love. We don't want to get into the business and offer something that, even though you're great at it, but I could offer it, but it doesn't make you happy, right? Don't pick things that does not make you happy. Don't pick things that it's like, okay, you want something that's like you are so good at that no one don't even have to pay you to do it. You do it anyway, right? Because that's how much you enjoy it. So that was number one. What what are you good at? Number two is you have to know what, right? So when you're starting your business, it doesn't matter what type of business that you are, you need to know your niche, right? Niche, tomato, tomato, whatever, however you want to say it, right? Um, and there are two niches. And a lot of us get confused with that, right? Even me, when I first started, like niche, I was like, okay, the industry that I'm in, that niche thing. But no, just like I talked about, what is it that you're good at? What is that niche skill set that you have? What is that specialty skill that is so niche that somebody wants it, someone needs it, right? So it's the same as the industry. What industry? So you have health, wealth, and I think it's education, I think it is, right? I always get that mixed up, right? So whatever that is, if you want to get into health, right? There are so many things in health. It's broad. So we cannot pick a niche that is saturated with tears over tears over tears. And you got mindset over here, you got health and wellness over here, you got children health or physicians and doctors and all that stuff. You got all that. You have to niche down. It's like a needle in a haystack. You got to really dig in there and you got to get down to the root of that niche, that small niched industry part of it that you want to work with, because that is the key to you being a profitable virtual assistant, is that niche. And if you feel that you have not niched down, then guess what? You didn't niche down further enough, right? And that's who you want to target. So it's very important to know what your niche skill set that is. Now, it can be a specialty skill, which is podcast management, where you do the editing, the uploading, the images, and uploading it, and then all these other places, and doing the written part. I forgot what they call it. The text part from the audio, all that stuff. That is a niched industry for someone who has a niche skill set for that particular thing. But you gotta love to do it. Another niche one is social media. Maybe you're good at graphics, right? You're good at paid KPIs and um, hashtags, researching hashtags and posting, knowing the times when to post, and helping your clients engage. That is a niched specialty skill, right? That is in competition. That's another thing. It has to be in competition. If there's no competition for that specialty skill set, then it's not a profitable market, right? So just think about those things when you are writing things down in your journal about what you want and what you want to do, right? And who you want to serve, right? And let's talk about the impact, right? So when you think about the niche, don't even think about, well, is this a profitable niche? Don't think about it just being a profitable niche. Think about, am I going to help make an impact? Because I know I got into this business to impact. Just like I'm here live speaking to you about these things, right? I'm trying to make an impact on you, an impact where it's going to encourage you to do something better for your life, or even push you if you're on the fence about starting your own business, or it's been on your mind for a long time, for years, like me having a business for years, and then I wait until I get into my 40s and start my business, right? But remember, um, even though I made it into a business where I trade dollars for hours, right? this was on my mind and this was a vision from before, right? So whatever I wrote in my journal or my diary, I call it, right? Back then, it came to fruition. And it doesn't matter if it was 20 years ago. So now God is probably putting in your heart, okay, this is what I need you to do, but you fearful of it, right? Because we still human, whether we are Christians or not. You know, we have faith and we believe, but we still have that flesh where we get afraid and what if and oh my God, I got to do this and I got to do that. Oh, I have family things to do. Remember, time management, working on things, not being anxious. Also, right? Taking your time to do these things, thinking about the things that you want in your business, thinking about how you want your business to look, how much money you want to make, the impact that you're going to make, the journey that God is going to put you on. Because when we are creating a faith-based business and we make God number one, he's gonna make it easy. So you're making it hard by putting all these negative things in your mind. When God said, um, through me, you depend on me and listen and come to me for everything. And believe me, your business is going to flourish. He's going to steer you in the right direction. He's going to help you make that decision on what needs to get in. He's going to help you bring those clients in, right? You think that it's probably going to be you, but it's not going to be him because if you're doing everything that he tells you to do, he's the one that's doing the work. It's already done already. Because if you're listening to this live or if you came across this live and you felt that this message is for you, believe me, it's for you. Okay, so one, we talked about what you're good at, right? What is your superpower, right? The thing that you love to do so that you can get started with your business. And number two is niche. The two niches. One is the industry, and then one is the niche services that you're going to provide, specialty skills that you're going to provide. The third thing is my favorite. And the reason why it's my favorite because I know it so well, and it was a long assignment for me with my coach. And when I took a look at that booklet and saw what I had to do, I was like, I don't got time for this. I'm a single mom. I got a full time job. I got an agency. I got all these other things going on. I don't got time. But, when you have a good coach who's going to push you and say that this is something that you need and it has to be done. This is the deadline, right? Get it done so that we can move on, right? So the ideal client is someone, right? So you have your niche industry, you have your niche skill set. So in that industry, you're going to create your ideal client, right? So we all think that everyone is our client and everyone is not our client. And that's how I used to think too. I was like, no, everybody gonna love my service. Everybody gonna love me. Everybody gonna come to my agency, and I'm gonna provide the services, and we're gonna be all good, right? No, Er, boom, back in my face, right? It doesn't go like that. So I just want to stop here and see if there are any chats. Okay. All right, I don't see anybody putting any chats. But if you have any questions, please put them in there and I'll answer those questions for you as well. So we continue to talk about ideal client. Now, um, when you are creating your ideal client, your perfect client avatar, because that's what it is, it's an avatar. These are some of the questions that you want to ask yourself when you're building your avatar. Now, you may ask, okay, Coach D, how am I going to build a client avatar if I never had a client? That's okay because your client avatar is going to be somewhat you 5 years ago, right? So you're going to think about that when you think about your career and the things that the aspirations and things that you wanted, and then also the vision that God gave you for your business, right? Maybe you started your business or try to start it, right? And you had some challenges and things like that, right? So when you're building your ideal client, your perfect client avatar, you're going to give your perfect client avatar a name. You're going to give her, and it could be a she or he, right? If it's men, in business, those are your perfect client avatar. So let me tell you, stop. I'm gonna stop right there. What would it do for you? What would it do for you if you had your specialty services? and you had your pricing where you need it to be because it aligns with the amount of work that you're going to do for your clients and the income that you're going to receive. So imagine making $5,000 to $10,000 a month. So imagine having 100 of your perfect client avatar. Just close your eyes and imagine that for a minute. What would that do to you? What would that do to your life? What would that do to your family? What would that do to your finances? Think about all those things. If you had 100 perfect clients, I want you to take out your journal and I want you to journal about it. What would that do to your life? That's how important setting up a ideal client avatar for your business. Because one, what it says in Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision and make it plain, right? And that's what you're going to do with your ideal client. You're going to write that vision and you're going to make it plain. You're going to make it a reality to you. What is he or his or her name? What is the age? Are they married? Are they single? Do they have children? How many children do they have? How old is their children? Right? Where do they live? Do they live in the suburbans? Do they live in the city? Do they own? Do they rent? What's keeping them up at night? What is her day to day? Um, what does her day to day look like? That's something that we need to know. Like, what does she do? She gets up in the morning. She takes care of her kids. She reads her Bible. She cooks for her, make her lunch for her kids, and she irons clothes for her husband. She has a business in the back somewhere, so she can't get to that because she has to make sure that she does her family stuff right, get the kids and the husband out and stuff like that. Then from there, she goes and make her coffee, make her donut, a bagel, whatever it is. And then after that, she takes a husa, say a little prayer, and then go to her desk so that she can prepare for her clients, right? And once she for her clients, she's thinking about, oh my God, I have all this administrative stuff to do that I have to handle for my clients. I need to send my clients email. I got to do this for my clients. I got to do that for my clients. So what is it? What is the day to day of your client? Hey, 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 girl, how you doing, Yolanda? What is the day to day, right? That you are doing. I mean, what are your ideal client doing? Because this is something that you have to vision, you have to dream up. This is what you have to write so it can become a reality to you, right? So what is this going to do for you? This is going to help you attract your perfect client, right? Uh, when you write up everything that you need to know about your client, another thing that we like to do is we like to talk to our ideal client. So with my clients, after they finish the whole assignment, they have to go somewhere, they magazine, go on Google, print out some how their ideal client look, right? Maybe your ideal client looks like me, right? And she's a coach, right? And get a picture of her husband, how the kids look if they have kids. Put it in a frame. Put it beside your computer because that's a reminder of who your ideal client is, your perfect client is, right? And that's a reminder of everything that you know about this person, her daily walk, her daily activities, what she's doing, what's keeping her up at night, what are her pain points, and what is her desires, right? We need to know that. How are you going to solve her problems? How are you going to be a solution to that problem, right? These are the things that we need to establish in our business before we start going out there marketing. Because, if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. So who you're talking to, that's going to get their attention, like boom, whoop, she caught my attention. That right there says me all over the landing page. That right there is screaming me on her website. That right there on her social media, she's calling out my name. She know exactly what I need, right? So this is why it's so important for us to create that perfect client avatar for our business. So I went over 3 things that you need to know being a virtual assistant. One is basically, what is your superpower? What are you good at? And then number two, knowing that niche. You have to know the niche market and then also the niche skill set that you're going to market to that niche market. And then number three is your ideal client, right? Who is your ideal client? So those are the main three things that you need to know about being a successful, profitable virtual assistant. And once you have those three things and identify those three things, you got it. You got it. The one thing that also I want to share with you is when you do build your ideal client avatar, and this is something that I definitely go through with my all my clients. You have so much content already. And a lot of virtual assistants will come to me and say, I don't know what to put on social media. I don't know what to write. I don't know what to say. Guess what, girl? You got it. Once you do your ideal client, you got a whole bunch to say. You already know what her pain points are. You already know what her desires. You already know what her daily walk look like, her day to day, right? You know her pain points. You know her desires. You know that. So there's no more, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. If you don't know what to say, that means that you don't have these three things right here in order for you to be a successful virtual assistant. And that's not just for virtual assistant, that is for any business owner. Those are the things that three key things that you need to know, among other things, um, in order for you to have a successful business. So I just wanted to come on and I just wanted to share those things with you. I hope that this resonated and called out to you on what those three key things that you need to know as being a virtual assistant, because I know with my clients, and I just wanted to share and give a shout out to G Williams because tonight actually is her webinar. She had her first webinar a few months ago, and she had 30 people to sign up for her first webinar. So as of last night at 10:38 p.m., she sent me a text and she was like, I got 101 people registered for my webinar. So those are the things that I love. When I say that I love making impact and I'm made for a purpose, when I hear and I see things from people, even whether you're my client or not, and I made some kind of impact with you by having a 30-minute call or on this live or whatever, walking down the street, whatever it is, if I made some impact on you, it makes me happy. It makes me dance every day in this house. When I hear the news from my clients, it could be 1 o'clock in the morning. They be like, Coach T, I know you're sleeping. I know it's late, but I couldn't contain myself. I just want to tell you, I got a client. So those things make me happy. And even though we know we want to set boundaries for ourselves, but that's just one boundary that I just can't put a limit on. So, and not only that, I have clients from all around the world. So they're on different time zones. And even though they know the time zone here, I welcome it because it makes my day and it makes me even want to just do this forever. So remember, I talked about what is that thing that you love that you'll do even if you don't get paid for it? Well, this is what I love. I love impacting lives. So I hope that I have impacted you in some way today and encourage you to start your virtual assistant business. And if so, there is a link somewhere on YouTube, Facebook, wherever, right? There's a link there for application for you to apply for my beta. Now, this is my first time doing a beta for new virtual assistants. And who's this for? This is for Christian women who wants to start their faith-based virtual assistant business without compromising their Christian values. And these are the questions that I get from women all the time. How do you incorporate your Christian values into your business? Because there's certain things that I absolutely have boundaries on when it comes to my faith. And I've been doing it for 5 years now. I love it. And God is my father. He is my CEO. He is in the boardroom every single day working on my business. And I get the approval from him. So I want to share what I do with you. I want to share how I build my business with you without compromising my Christian values. And if you are a Christian woman who is ready to start your virtual assistant business, this is for not someone who has been and started their business. This is for someone who wants to start their virtual assistant business. Okay, so click the link and apply. Of course, I review those questions, and if you approve, you will receive an email from me saying that you are approved to move forward into the program. All right, guys. So thank you, Yolanda, for joining me and staying on live, and whoever else is on live. This was awesome. I love coming on here, sharing this. And it's been a while since I've been coming on live. So the last few couple of weeks I've been coming on live, and I had to get back into the groove of it because I was like, oh God, I gotta go on live. Oh, I gotta look this way. I gotta look that way. When you're so used to working behind the scenes in your PJs and not have to worry about putting no makeup on, which I don't got no makeup on today, but things like that, and looking presentable in the camera. So it feels good. I have to say that it feels good to come back on live. So I hope that you enjoyed this live, and I will see you tomorrow on my next live. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me, and have a blessed evening.